The scorching Egyptian sun bore down mercilessly as Dr. Maya Rashid kneeled in the shifting sands. The archaeologist, known for her groundbreaking work on ancient Egyptian technology, had spent weeks combing through the Luxor desert with her team, following whispers of a forgotten burial chamber. Today, those whispers seemed ready to unveil a secret buried for millennia. Sweat trickled down Maya's forehead as she brushed away the last layer of sand from the smooth limestone covering. The faint glimmer of gold peeked out from the stone's crevice, catching the sunlight. Maya's breath hitched. She motioned to her assistant, Omar, who handed her a brush and a steadying hand. "This is it," Maya whispered, her voice trembling with a mixture of excitement and reverence. "We found something extraordinary." The dig site buzzed with activity as her team gathered around, their tools clicking and shovels clinking. After hours of careful work, Maya uncovered a golden scarab amulet nestled within the burial chamber's protective confines. Unlike any scarab she had seen before, this one seemed alive with a strange, otherworldly energy. The amulet was no larger than her palm, yet its surface gleamed as though freshly polished, resisting the effects of time. Intricate hieroglyphs covered its shell-like surface, glowing faintly in the fading sunlight. Maya tilted the artifact, revealing an inset of crystalline material on its underside, smooth and translucent, unlike anything she'd encountered in her decades of study. "This is no ordinary artifact," Maya said, her voice quivering. "Too perfect." Omar leaned in, squinting at the scarab. "It's incredible craftsmanship. But what's this?" He pointed to the crystalline inset. "That doesn't look natural." "It's not," Maya replied, her fingers tracing the edge of the scarab. "It's manufactured. Advanced. Far beyond anything ancient Egyptians were supposed to have created." Omar's skepticism gave way to curiosity. "Do you think it's part of their mystical rituals?" "Maybe," Maya said, her thoughts already racing. "But it might be something far more significant." The dig team, though trained professionals, couldn't hide their awe as they watched the scarab shimmer faintly in the desert dusk. Maya wrapped the artifact in protective cloth, her mind swirling with questions. What was its purpose? And who or what had crafted it? That evening, under the vast, star-speckled sky of the Egyptian desert, Maya sat at a makeshift workstation in her tent. The scarab lay before her, illuminated by the soft glow of an LED lamp. Omar joined her, bringing a laptop equipped with imaging software. "We need to analyze this," Maya said. "There's something special about this scarab. I can feel it." She started by examining the hieroglyphs. Each symbol was etched with remarkable precision, depicting a blend of traditional Egyptian imagery and unfamiliar, almost alien forms. Among the carvings were depictions of scarabs with radiant wings, figures pointing toward the stars, and what appeared to be celestial maps. "These symbols are different from anything I've studied before," Maya muttered. "It's as if they're telling a story we've never heard." Omar pointed to a specific set of glyphs near the crystalline inset. "This part looks like a key. What if this isn't just decoration? What if it's functional?" Maya's curiosity deepened. "Let's test it." Carefully, she placed the scarab under a magnifying lens attached to a scanner. The crystalline inset refracted the light in a way that seemed deliberate, almost as though it were responding. Maya adjusted the scanner's wavelength, focusing a narrow beam of laser light onto the scarab. To her astonishment, the artifact emitted a low, harmonic hum. "What in the world?" Omar said, backing away slightly. The hieroglyphs on the scarab began to glow faintly. Tiny, intricate patterns of light danced across its surface, forming a shimmering network of symbols and lines. Maya's heart raced as the artifact responded to their experiments, defying all conventional understanding of ancient Egyptian technology. This is impossible," Maya whispered. "It's some kind of data storage device." Omar's eyes widened. "A data storage device? From ancient Egypt?" "Yes," Maya replied, her voice tinged with disbelief and exhilaration. "The crystalline material, it's not just ornamental. It's functional. And these hieroglyphs might be instructions or even a code." By the following morning, Maya and Omar transported the scarab to a secure laboratory in Cairo. Maya had called in her trusted colleague, Dr. Elliot Parker, an expert in ancient technologies and modern computational analysis. Together, the trio began the painstaking process of decoding the artifact. The first breakthrough came when they connected the scarab to a spectral analysis machine. As the laser scanned the crystalline surface, patterns emerged, geometric shapes and symbols that appeared to be part of a larger schematic. "This isn't just a relic," Elliot said, his voice tinged with awe. "It's a blueprint." "For what?" Omar asked, his voice trembling with anticipation. Maya leaned forward, her eyes locked on the holographic projection of the extracted data. The lines and symbols slowly aligned to reveal a fragmented design, something massive, sleek, and undeniably advanced. The design bore an uncanny resemblance to a scarab beetle, its golden wings outstretched, but it was far too large to be anything ornamental. "It's a ship," Maya said, her voice barely above a whisper. "An ancient Egyptian spaceship." Elliot shook his head in disbelief. "That's absurd. The Egyptians didn't have this kind of technology. This blueprint, this level of engineering, it's light years ahead of anything we thought possible." "And yet, here it is," Maya replied, her tone resolute. "The scarab isn't just a key, it's a message. Someone or something wanted this to be found." The days that followed were a blur of discovery and revelation. As the team delved deeper into the scarab's data, they uncovered coordinates embedded within the blueprint. Cross-referencing the coordinates with modern maps revealed a shocking location. The structure depicted in the scarab's blueprints lay buried beneath the Nile River. Omar stared at the screen in disbelief. "You're telling me there's an ancient spaceship hidden under one of the world's most iconic rivers?" Maya nodded, her mind racing. "That's exactly what I'm saying. And the scarab was designed to lead us to it." Elliot leaned back in his chair, his expression a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "If this is true, it changes everything we know about history. But we'll need resources, serious resources, to excavate something buried under the Nile." "I'll make the calls," Maya said, determination hardening her voice. "This is too important to ignore." Within days, Maya secured funding from an international consortium of archaeologists, historians, and scientists, all eager to uncover the truth behind the scarab's mystery. The team mobilized to the Nile, bringing with them advanced ground-penetrating radar and excavation equipment. At the riverbank, the team began their work. The radar scans revealed a massive anomaly buried deep beneath the riverbed, a structure far larger than anything the team had expected. Weeks of careful drilling and excavation followed, with Maya leading the effort. As they dug deeper, they encountered materials that defied identification, smooth, metallic surfaces that reflected light like gold but were harder than any known substance. Finally, after weeks of tireless effort, the team breached the structure's outer layer. The excavation site buzzed with anticipation as Maya descended into the opening. What she saw took her breath away. Suspended in the watery void was the ship. Its sleek, golden hull gleamed faintly, even in the dim light of the cavern. It resembled a scarab beetle, its wings folded tightly against its body. The design was both organic and mechanical, an uncanny fusion of artistry and engineering. The ship's surface seemed to pulse faintly as though it were alive. Maya reached out, her fingers brushing against the golden exterior. The moment she made contact, the ship emitted a low, harmonic vibration. Lights flickered on, illuminating the cavern in a warm, golden glow. Omar and Elliot stood speechless behind her. "It's beautiful," Omar finally said, his voice barely audible. Maya turned to face her team, her eyes alight with determination. "This is only the beginning. We've uncovered something that will rewrite history and perhaps our future." As the ship hummed softly, its ancient secrets poised to be unveiled, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that they had awakened something far greater than they could comprehend. The sun rose over the Nile, casting long golden shadows over the bustling excavation site. The discovery of the buried vessel had sent shockwaves through both the scientific community and the world at large. Media outlets speculated wildly, conspiracy theories flourished, and governments jostled for involvement. Yet, amidst the chaos, Dr. Maya Rashid and her team remained laser-focused on their work, delving into the mysteries of the ancient ship now resting partially exposed in its hidden cavern. The vessel, named Aaten after the Egyptian god of the rising sun and rebirth, loomed large in the chamber. Its surface, golden and sleek, seemed immune to time, gleaming as though freshly forged. The scarab-like design gave it an almost mythical presence, blending organic elegance with the precision of advanced engineering. It wasn't merely a ship, it was a masterpiece. Maya stood at the edge of the cavern, staring at the ship's imposing hull. Her heart pounded as she cradled the golden scarab amulet in her hands. This was the key, both figuratively and literally, to unlocking the vessel's secrets. The entire team watched in tense silence as Maya approached the ship's surface. The scarab began to glow faintly in her hand, its crystalline inset emitting a soft hum. As she drew closer, intricate patterns of light danced across the ship's exterior, aligning with the amulet symbols. Maya extended her hand, placing the scarab into a slot that seemed perfectly shaped for it. The moment it clicked into place, the ship responded. A deep, resonant vibration filled the chamber, causing ripples in the subterranean waters. Golden light raced along the ship's surface, illuminating hieroglyphs and geometric symbols. With a hiss of escaping air, a hidden doorway slid open, revealing a dark, inviting passage. Omar, standing beside her, swallowed hard. "It's alive." Maya turned to her team, her face a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "We've come this far. Let's see what's inside." The interior of Aaten was unlike anything Maya could have imagined. The walls glowed softly, their surfaces smooth and seamless, as if molded from a single material. The air was surprisingly fresh, with a faint metallic tang. Strange, spiraling patterns decorated the walls, their intricate designs resembling both ancient Egyptian art and something far more alien. Maya's flashlight swept across the chamber, revealing consoles that appeared to be made of both gold and crystal. These stations were adorned with hieroglyphs and symbols that pulsed faintly, as though waiting to be activated. The room's centerpiece was a raised platform surrounded by concentric rings of light, hovering just above the floor. "It's a control room," Maya said, her voice barely above a whisper. Elliot approached one of the consoles, his eyes wide. "These hieroglyphs, they're instructions. But they're using a syntax I don't recognize." Maya examined the glyphs closely, her mind racing. The scarab had hinted at a fusion of Egyptian and alien knowledge, and here it was laid bare before them. The symbols seemed to depict energy flows, star charts, and operational commands, but the complexity was staggering. "Take detailed scans of everything," Maya instructed. "We'll need to decode this." Over the next several days, the team worked tirelessly to understand the ship's systems. They established a makeshift base inside the cavern, bringing in advanced equipment to assist with translation and analysis. The scarab amulet, still glowing faintly, acted as a Rosetta Stone, its embedded data providing crucial context for deciphering the ship's language. Maya spent hours poring over the hieroglyphs, her knowledge of ancient Egyptian writing pushed to its limits. She discovered that the symbols on the consoles weren't just instructions, they were layered with meaning, functioning both as text and as visual representations of complex processes. "This ship wasn't just built for travel," Maya said one evening, her voice heavy with realization. "It's a repository of knowledge, a library." Elliot looked up from his station. "Knowledge about what?" "Everything," Maya replied. "Physics, astronomy, biology. It's as if they tried to encode an entire civilization's worth of information into this vessel." The ship's systems began to reveal more of their purpose. One console projected a holographic star map, showing constellations that matched Earth's night sky, but with notable differences. Some stars were brighter, others dimmer, and several unfamiliar markers appeared, denoting points of interest far beyond human reach. "These aren't just maps," Elliot said, analyzing the hologram. "They're navigational routes." "Routes to where?" Omar asked. Maya's gaze was fixed on a particularly bright marker at the map's edge. "To their home." While exploring the ship's central chamber, Maya noticed a pedestal with a shallow indentation. It matched the shape of the scarab amulet perfectly. Gathering her team, she placed the amulet onto the pedestal. The room darkened momentarily before erupting in a cascade of golden light. A holographic figure materialized, a tall, regal figure clad in robes of shimmering gold. The figure resembled an ancient Egyptian priest, yet its features were unervingly precise, as though sculpted from light itself. "Welcome, seekers of knowledge," the figure said in flawless, albeit archaic Egyptian. Its voice was deep and melodic, resonating with an otherworldly cadence. "You have awakened the Aaten. The Golden Scarab Protocol has been initiated." The team exchanged astonished glances. Maya stepped forward, addressing the figure. "Who are you? What is this ship?" The hologram's gaze shifted to her, its expression solemn. "I am a projection of those who came before, the ones who guided your ancestors. We shared our knowledge with the people of Kemet, teaching them to harness the forces of nature and to dream beyond the stars." Maya's heart raced. "You mean, the gods?" The hologram inclined its head. "To them we were gods. But we are merely travelers, seekers of truth and understanding. The Aaten was our gift, a vessel for exploration, for the journey to the stars." "What happened to you?" Maya asked. "Why was the ship buried?" The figure's expression darkened. "A great cataclysm, a deluge that swallowed the land, forced us to abandon our plans. The ship was hidden to preserve its knowledge, awaiting those worthy to continue the journey." The hologram continued its explanation, revealing that the Aaten was not merely a spaceship but a bridge between worlds. Its propulsion systems utilized advanced principles of energy manipulation, allowing it to traverse vast distances by bending space and time. The vessel also housed biological archives, technological blueprints and cultural artifacts, everything needed to rebuild a civilization or establish a new one among the stars. This ship, the hologram said, was designed for humanity to ascend, to leave behind the confines of this world and embrace the infinite. Elliot, who had been silent until now, spoke up. Why now? Why are we being shown this? The awakening of the Aaten signals a new era, the hologram replied. Humanity stands at a crossroads. You possess the knowledge and technology to rise, but the path is fraught with danger. What kind of danger? Omar asked. The hologram's expression grew somber. There are others among the stars, some who seek harmony, and others who desire dominion. The signal emitted by this ship will draw them here. Some will come as allies, others as adversaries. Maya's chest tightened. The enormity of the situation was overwhelming. This discovery wasn't just about rewriting history, it was about shaping humanity's future. As the team processed the hologram's revelations, Maya faced an agonizing decision. Activating the ship fully would send a signal into the cosmos, inviting potential allies but also exposing Earth to unknown threats. The knowledge stored within the Aaten could propel humanity into a golden age, but it could also bring catastrophic consequences if wielded recklessly. We can't keep this buried, Maya said during a heated discussion with her team. This is the most significant discovery in human history. We owe it to the world to share it. And risk bringing hostile forces here? Elliot countered. We're not ready for that. Omar, ever the voice of balance, chimed in. Maybe we're not ready, but we can't ignore what's been put in our hands. If the ancients believed in us enough to leave this ship, shouldn't we believe in ourselves? Maya looked at the scarab amulet, its glow pulsing gently, as if mirroring her own conflicted thoughts. The weight of history and the future rested on her shoulders. The decision was hers to make. The desert night was unusually quiet, save for the soft hum of the Aaten as it hovered above the Nile. Illuminated by the ship's golden glow, the excavation site had become a nexus of activity. Reporters, military personnel, scientists, and onlookers crowded the riverbanks, their eyes fixed on the miraculous sight. Yet within the cavernous vessel, Dr. Maya Rashid and her team stood on the brink of an even greater revelation. Maya approached the ship's central console, her fingers trembling as she rested them on its cool, golden surface. The ship had awakened fully, its systems alive and responsive. The star map hologram still glowed in the air, its constellations pulsing faintly. The message from the holographic priest lingered in her mind. Activating the ship's beacon would summon beings from across the galaxy. But who would answer the call? Maya stared at the scarab amulet resting in its slot on the console. The device had already served as the key to awakening the Aaten, but the final step, a deliberate activation of the ship's transmission systems, was entirely up to her. The weight of responsibility bore down on her, heavy as the sands of the Nile. Omar broke the silence. Maya, are we sure about this? Sending that signal could change everything. It already has, she replied. But this isn't just about us. It's about the legacy of the people who built this ship. They believed in something greater, a future among the stars. Elliot, always the skeptic, folded his arms. And what if we invite something dangerous? What if the ones who answer aren't here to help? Maya turned to him, her expression resolute. We can't let fear stop us from reaching for the stars. This ship was buried for thousands of years, waiting for us to be ready. I believe that time is now. Omar nodded. Then let's make history. With a deep breath, Maya placed her hand on the console. The glyphs beneath her palm lit up, and the ship responded with a resonant hum. Lights flared across the control room as a wave of golden energy pulsed outward. The star map expanded, its constellations spinning and aligning to form a new pattern. A single, bright point at the map's edge blinked rhythmically, as though acknowledging the signal. It's done, Maya whispered. The Aaten's beacon transmitted continuously, its signal an intricate harmonic frequency that echoed across the cosmos. Days turned into weeks as the world waited for a response. The discovery of the ship had already shaken humanity to its core, sparking debates and philosophical discussions about humanity's place in the universe. Governments scrambled to prepare for potential contact, deploying satellites and crafting diplomatic protocols for meeting extraterrestrial visitors. Maya and her team remained at the heart of the unfolding drama. They worked tirelessly within the Aaten, unlocking more of its secrets while monitoring the beacon's progress. The ship's systems revealed an astonishing trove of knowledge, from advanced propulsion technology to detailed records of ancient Earth. Maya's belief in the benevolence of the ship's creators deepened with each discovery. Still, unease lingered. What if Elliot was right? What if they had awakened something they couldn't control? One night, as Maya sat alone in the ship's control room, the scarab amulet glowing softly in her hand, she gazed at the holographic star map. Her thoughts drifted to the ancient Egyptians who had dared to dream of the stars. They had built this ship not as a weapon, but as a vessel of hope, a bridge between worlds. A sudden change in the star map snapped her out of her reverie. One of the distant markers had begun to move, its pulsing light accelerating toward the center of the map. Maya's heart raced. "They're coming," she whispered. The object grew closer with each passing day, its trajectory unmistakably aimed at Earth. By the time it entered the solar system, telescopes and satellites around the globe had locked onto it. The craft was massive, larger than any human-made structure in space, and its design bore striking similarities to the Aaten. It was golden, sleek, and radiated an almost divine presence. The ship came to a halt just beyond Earth's atmosphere, hovering in silent observation. The world held its collective breath as Maya and her team prepared to meet the visitors. Using the Aaten's communication systems, Maya transmitted a greeting in the language of the ship's creators, hoping it would be understood. The alien ship responded immediately. A beam of golden light extended from its hull, enveloping the Aaten. Inside the control room, the holographic figure of the priest reappeared, accompanied by a new entity, an alien being of radiant light and flowing golden robes. Its features were humanoid but otherworldly, its eyes glowing with an ancient wisdom. "Seekers of the stars," the being said in a melodic voice. "We have heard your call." Maya stepped forward, her voice steady despite the awe she felt. "We are the inheritors of this vessel, left to us by our ancestors." "Who are you?" The being inclined its head. "We are the Luminal Ones, travelers of the cosmos and allies of those who dream of the stars. Your ancestors were our kin and we guided them in building this vessel. It pleases us to see that their legacy endures." The Luminal Ones descended to Earth, their golden ships landing gently in the deserts of Egypt. Their arrival sparked a flurry of activity, with world leaders converging at the site of the Aaten to witness history in the making. Maya became the de facto ambassador for humanity, her role as the discoverer of the Aaten thrusting her into the global spotlight. The Luminal Ones revealed much about their connection to Earth. Millennia ago, they had visited the planet, sharing knowledge and inspiring the construction of great monuments. The pyramids, the Sphinx, and now the Aaten, all were testaments to their influence. When catastrophe struck and the ship was buried, they had retreated to the stars, waiting for humanity to rise again. "You have proven yourselves ready," the leader of the Luminal Ones said during a summit with world leaders. "The beacon you activated signals your willingness to embrace the greater cosmos. We come not as saviors but as partners." The Luminal Ones shared their knowledge sparingly, urging humanity to grow at its own pace. They emphasized cooperation and unity, warning that the universe was vast and not all who traveled it were benevolent. Maya stood on the bridge of the Aaten, now fully operational and ready for its first flight. The Luminal Ones had helped humanity repair and enhance the ship, integrating it with new technology that allowed it to traverse the stars. Omar and Elliot were at her side, along with an international crew of scientists, engineers and explorers. "This is it," Maya said, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and solemnity. "The beginning of a new chapter." The ship's propulsion systems roared to life, the golden rings beneath it spinning with blinding speed. With a gentle lurch, the Aaten lifted off, ascending into the sky. The Nile and its surrounding sands grew smaller as the ship climbed higher, breaking through Earth's atmosphere. The star map reappeared, its constellations aligning to guide the vessel on its maiden voyage. Maya input a set of coordinates provided by the Luminal Ones, a destination far beyond the solar system, where an interstellar hub awaited. The Aaten surged forward, its golden hull shimmering as it bent the fabric of spacetime. For the first time in human history, a ship built by ancient hands and powered by modern dreams left Earth behind, carrying its passengers toward the unknown. As the Aaten traveled through the stars, Maya reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The Golden Scarab amulet, once buried in the sands of Luxor, had unlocked a destiny far greater than she could have imagined. It wasn't just a relic of the past, it was a key to the future. The Aaten's journey was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first step into the cosmos, guided by the wisdom of the ancients and the promise of the Luminal Ones. And as the stars stretched out before them, Maya knew that Earth's greatest story was yet to be written.